So I was co-facilitating a dialogue about gender and sexuality for a group of students, and the subject of street harassment came up. And a group of women had spoken up and said that street harassment happens to them really regularly, and that they feel really uncomfortable whenever it happens, and most of the time unsafe, especially if it happened at night. And several of the men spoke up and said that while they understood that this was like a terrible thing, and they definitely didn't agree that men should do that, and they definitely understood why women felt unsafe, they also felt like, well, if this is going to be a reality, then women should think about like the way that they dress and like the way that like how late they stay out at night, just to like prevent this from happening to them. And the women immediately said like, well, in our experiences, like it doesn't matter how we're dressed or like what time of day it is, it just happens. Plus I don't want to have to change my actions to prevent street harassment from happening to me. It shouldn't happen to me, and I should be able to wear whatever I want. But the men continuously just kept like trying to rebut these comments and kept saying like, well, no, like, yeah, it happens, but like surely if you wear something different, or like if you just think about your surroundings, or if you like try to keep yourself safe, you need to keep yourself safe. And so this went on for a while, and my and I were noticing that this wasn't a great dynamic for the group. The women seemed really uncomfortable, so we decided that this was a time to use our multi-partial facilitation skills, and we stopped the activity that we were doing, and we asked that everybody like just sit down in a circle, and we first of all wanted to address the dynamic in the room at that moment. So we asked the men to notice like the ways that they were like enacting male privilege by like trying to rebut the women's experiences and trying to frame their experiences and not allowing them to frame their own experiences. And then when after like this kind of awkward silence where the men were kind of forced to like confront the things that they had been saying and like to think back on how they were contributing to dynamics, then we asked everyone to like think about the dominant narratives that were being put out by the things that people were saying. So we asked questions like, well, where does this idea come from that if women dress like more appropriately that they're less likely to be street harassed? Like, where did you initially get that idea from? And we used that to sort of tease out like what dominant narratives were playing into the things that people were saying.